Jonathan Majors was fired from Marvel exactly 2 hours after his guilty verdict hit the news. But what I'm about to show you proves he's just one of many Marvel stars who completely lost it on set and changed the MCU forever. Education and entertainment only, not insider advice. Let's start with the most shocking case that literally rewrote Marvel's entire future. December 18th, 2023. Jonathan Majors gets convicted of assault and harassment in Manhattan. Confirmed, The Hollywood Reporter, 2:32 p.m. Disney drops him the same day, within hours. The relationship that destroyed Kang involved Grace Jabari, a colleague from the Ant-Man Quantumania London production. Confirmed, Screen Rant, citing court documents March 2023. Think about that timeline. The guy who was supposed to anchor the next decade of Marvel movies had his career implode in 268 days, from arrest on March 25th to complete industry exile on December 18th. Marvel had to scrap Avengers: The Kang Dynasty completely and rename it Doomsday. Confirmed, multiple trades, October 2024. We're talking about a multi-billion-dollar franchise pivot. The ripple effects are still happening today. Magazine Dreams, Major's other big movie, got pulled from theaters on October 27th, 2023. Confirmed, Searchlight Pictures announcement. His entire filmography became toxic overnight. Studios that were courting him for major roles suddenly went silent. Agents stopped returning calls. That's how fast Hollywood can destroy a career when legal trouble meets bad publicity. But here's the first question. Which on-set meltdown actually forced Marvel to rewrite an entire movie's ending? Hit that subscribe button because what comes next will change how you see every Marvel movie. The answer takes us back to the beginning of the MCU and Edward Norton's toxic relationship with Marvel during the Incredible Hulk production. Norton wasn't just difficult, he was actively sabotaging Marvel's vision. He wanted a 135-minute character study exploring Bruce Banner's psychology and trauma. Marvel wanted a 112-minute action movie with more Hulk smashing and less talking. The tension exploded during post-production when Norton rewrote scenes without permission and demanded Final Cut approval. Confirmed, Slash Film, June 2008 reporting. But it gets worse. Norton publicly criticized Marvel's vision in interviews while the movie was still in theaters. Confirmed, Cinema Blend interviews 2008. He told reporters the studio didn't understand the character. He complained about executive interference. He basically threw Marvel under the bus during the press tour for their own movie. The studio had had enough. They cut 70 minutes from Norton's version, including a suicide attempt scene that never made it to theaters. Norton's version would have shown Bruce Banner putting a gun in his mouth before the Hulk prevented the suicide. Too dark for Marvel's family-friendly brand. Then they fired him and brought in Mark Ruffalo, creating one of the most awkward recasting situations ever. The change was so abrupt that Marvel never officially acknowledged it. Norton's Hulk just disappeared, and Ruffalo's version showed up in Avengers like nothing happened. But Norton wasn't the only early MCU star who got screwed over money. Terrence Howard got completely betrayed between Iron Man movies when Marvel offered him $4.5 million for the first film, then dropped him to $40,000 for Iron Man 2. Confirmed, CBR citing Howard interviews 2013. Here's what makes the Howard situation even more insulting. He was actually the highest paid actor in the first Iron Man, making more than Robert Downey Jr. Confirmed, Howard interviews with Andy Cohen 2019.
Say it how it is.
Terrence Howard to Iron Man.
Marvel paid him top dollar because RDJ was still considered a risk after his legal troubles. But when Iron Man became a massive hit, Marvel wanted to restructure deals and give RDJ the big money. Howard felt betrayed not just by Marvel, but by RDJ personally. He claims Downey Jr. could have helped negotiate a fair deal, but chose not to. Confirmed, Howard interviews 2019. I helped him get that job, Howard said, referring to vouching for RDJ during casting. The friendship ended over money, and Howard walked away. Don Cheadle got the role for $1 million, still way less than Howard's original deal, but more than Marvel's insulting $40,000 offer. The recast was so abrupt, they had to address it with Cheadle's first line. "It's me, I'm here, deal with it." A direct acknowledgement of the swap that became a meme. But these early incidents were just the beginning. The real explosion happened when Marvel expanded into Disney Plus and created way more opportunities for on-set drama. More sets, more actors, more potential for things to go wrong. The SAG-AFTRA strike in 2023 shut down Marvel for 105 days. Official union records from July 14th to November 9th confirm it was about more than money, focused on working conditions and actor pressure. Ryan Reynolds had to pause Deadpool 3 mid-scene on July 14th, and Hugh Jackman was in full Wolverine costume when filming stopped, confirmed by The Wrap. The strike cost Marvel over $60 million in delays, but exposed how unsustainable the current system had become. Actors were working 16-hour days with constant reshoots. Scripts were being rewritten during filming. Directors were burning out from studio pressure. The whole machine was breaking down. But even after the strike ended, the pressure didn't stop. If anything, it got worse as Marvel tried to make up for lost time. Here's the second question. What happens when that pressure breaks an actor physically? Jeremy Renner's situation shows the extreme dedication these actors have, but also the industry's unrealistic expectations. Even after surviving a near-fatal snowplow accident that broke 38 bones, Renner was falling asleep on set during Mayor of Kingstown filming. They'd call action and I was out, Renner admitted. The accident happened on New Year's Day 2023 while helping his nephew with a stuck truck. The snowplow crushed him, leaving him with a collapsed lung, punctured liver, and dozens of broken bones. Doctors said he was lucky to survive, but he was back on sets months later because missing work means missing millions. Renner's dedication is admirable, but it also shows how broken the system is. An actor with 38 broken bones shouldn't be working, but the financial pressure is so intense that taking time off isn't really an option. The show must go on, even if the star is literally falling asleep between takes. In August 2025, industry podcaster John Rocha revealed on The Christian Harloff Show that two actors on Avengers Doomsday fought over a joke crossing a line. The confrontation was intense enough to require separation and schedule adjustments. Sources suggest the joke involved one actor's personal life, perceived as a direct attack. Rumor from multiple production sources. What began as banter escalated into shouting and alleged physical contact, prompting security intervention. The internet went crazy, speculating it was Robert Downey Jr. and Ryan Reynolds, but that's been debunked, confirmed by People magazine, August 15, 2025, stating they've never met in person. Latest reports suggest it was actually Wyatt Russell and David Harbour over a script change disagreement. What we do know is that they had to film actors on separate days for 3 weeks. That kind of schedule restructuring costs massive amounts of money in overtime, location fees, and crew coordination. One argument between two actors can derail an entire production timeline. But here's where disconnection becomes different from explosion. Gwyneth Paltrow represents the opposite extreme, complete detachment rather than emotional outburst. The woman who played Pepper Potts for over a decade admitted she's never seen Avengers Endgame. Think about that. She was in the biggest movie of all time, filmed emotional scenes with Robert Downey Jr.'s death, and never bothered to watch the final product. She also forgot she was in Spider-Man Homecoming during a 2019 interview with Jon Favreau, confirmed on the chef show Netflix 2019. When Favreau reminded her about their scene together, she looked genuinely confused.
We weren't in Spider-Man.
Yes, we were.
Homecoming.
You were in Spider-Man.
That level of disconnection from your own work shows how some Marvel actors view these projects as just another paycheck rather than career-defining roles. It's almost more insulting than a meltdown, because at least anger shows you care.
That's weird.
Don Cheadle had to publicly debunk rumors about Brie Larson being difficult on Endgame set, tweeting, "You're reading in, we're all good," in April 2019, confirmed on Twitter Cheadle verified account. But the fact that these rumors spread so widely shows how ready people are to believe Marvel sets are toxic environments. The Larson rumors started from fan speculation about her body language during press interviews. People analyzed every interaction looking for signs of conflict.
When she didn't laugh at certain jokes or seemed tired during long press days, fans created entire conspiracy theories about on-set drama that never happened. Here's the third question. How much money has Marvel actually lost because of these on-set incidents? The numbers are staggering when you add them up. The Majors firing required rewriting an entire Avengers movie, from Kang Dynasty to Doomsday. That's not just changing the title, it's restructuring the whole plot, recasting roles, and reshooting scenes. We're talking about tens of millions in wasted pre-production work.
The Norton situation wasted 70 minutes of expensive footage that never saw theaters. That's roughly 30% of a finished movie that was cut due to creative differences. The Howard recast created continuity issues that they're still addressing with awkward explanations. The alleged current Doomsday drama required 3 weeks of separate scheduling. That means paying for 2 separate units, duplicate crew members, and extended location fees. Industry estimates put the cost at over $5 million just for the schedule changes. But here's what matters most for fans. These incidents change what we see on screen. The Incredible Hulk could have been entirely different if Norton got his psychological approach. We might have seen a darker, more introspective take on the character that explored trauma and mental health. Iron Man 2 had to explain Howard's absence with that throwaway cheetah line. The movie never addressed why War Machine suddenly looked different or had a distinct personality. Fans just had to accept the change and move on. Quantumania now leads to a narrative dead end because Kang's entire story got scrapped after Major's exit. All those multiverse setup scenes and end credit teases now point to nothing. Marvel has to restructure its Phase 5 and 6 plans completely. The pattern is clear. Marvel's success created impossible expectations. Every movie must make billions. Every actor must be perfect. Every set must run smoothly. But that's not how humans work under this level of pressure and scrutiny measured in billions of dollars. Most incidents get covered up by Marvel's PR machine. NDAs that would make intelligence agencies jealous, crisis management teams, and enough money to make problems disappear. They have entire departments dedicated to monitoring social media and controlling narratives. Sometimes truth leaks through court cases, social media, or insiders willing to speak. The Majors case couldn't be hidden because it involved the legal system, and the Norton situation went public because he talked to reporters. Marvel spends millions on reputation management, but cracks show as fast expansion and pressure on projects like Disney Plus create unrealistic timelines, exhausting cast and crew. Who do you think will be the next Marvel star to have a major on-set breakdown? The real issue isn't whether more Marvel stars will lose it during production, it's whether Marvel can learn from these documented incidents and create healthier environments. Based on the alleged current Doomsday drama, the answer seems to be no. They're still using the same high-pressure tactics that created these problems in the first place. The human cost is real and worsening. Jonathan Majors was on track to be Marvel's future, but was blacklisted in less than 9 months. Edward Norton's psychological Hulk vision was overshadowed by studio demands for action. Terrence Howard's money dispute still affects his relationship with RDJ. Jeremy Renner's recovery from 38 broken bones highlights actors' dedication and industry expectations that ignore their health, which isn't sustainable. Behind every successful Marvel film are people under intense pressure, with high egos and scrutiny. Small conflicts or jokes can lead to significant costs or career-ending disputes. Sometimes even superheroes break, changing everything on screen. The movies we love are shaped by unseen drama. Are these just Hollywood routines or signs of bigger issues at Marvel? Drop a comment and tell me which Marvel star is most at risk of a breakdown. Next week, I'm exposing the secret Marvel blacklist that keeps certain actors from ever working with the studio again.